Hey all friends, welcome back to the channel. Bob here. Hang on, what are we doing? I definitely need that. In kind of still semi not lockdown UK at the moment. We're still kind of 50-50. I think the schools are closing on Friday. Yeah, but it's a strange time. First of all, I think I probably should say that, because sometimes you say stuff on the internet and people think that you're, quoting facts and stuff. I'm not an expert. I don't know anything about this stuff apart from what I've read. Essentially, there's a disclaimer. Yeah, it's a weird time. Like, I'm finding it really weird because, like, I'm kind of potentially high risk, but I don't know. So I'm kind of like, oh, should I be more worried? Should I not? This is obviously a serious illness for people that are at risk. Yeah, but I'm kind of not sure if I am, and I might not know until I get it. It's a weird old situation. I mean, like before I was like long term chronically sick, chronically ill. I kind of had the constitution of an ox, pretty much. So and I'd say that my ME kind of fluctuates between like moderate to mild, depending on the day, really. And I'm kind of doing stuff myself to try and make sure that my immune system is as good as possible. So yeah, I kind of feel that I might be all right. Yeah, but it's that little bit, isn't it, where you're not quite sure. There's that little underlying kind of fear that you might not be. Yeah. So, but I mean, the thing is that I literally don't see anyone apart from my wife most of the time. So, yeah, hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. But anyway, getting back onto the video, I'm level 28 in the genus still. I started charming the Skellingtons, maybe foolishly, because sometimes they just break. Root I'm talking about. So I thought, well, okay, it's probably going to be the same for charm. So I've kind of been using a pet, and I'm always a bit wary about charming undead anyway, because they don't, at no point do they run away. So when you break charm, you've kind of got two mobs that are not going to run away to deal with, to give you a little bit of leeway, particularly in like a small area. But that's fine. We all just must remember. I keep thinking I'm playing Augur. I must remember to click. Meditate until level 35. I get clarity next level, which I think is going to be quite nice. Yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of like a root obsessive when I charm. I'm always rooting, which might be an issue. Maybe. Oops, no, that's a mistake. Oh, that's a mistake that could cost me cost me some XPs. What a disaster. Okay, fair enough. We lost that one, but at least the blimey, that's heavy. But at least the I left a page. I should always remember to pick those up. But at least the what was I going to say? At least the charm held. So I'll probably charm those two and then just kill this one with my pet. I don't really. I mean, I could just use pets. It's a one dagger thing at the moment. I don't really need to worry about it too much. I don't feel like I need to practice my charm, skills particularly. I think I got fairly decent on my previous enchanter. It's all straightforward, really. It's about. I mean, as with most stuff in Everquest, I think because it's so dangerous, like more so than other games, is that it's about thinking about what the right decision is as quickly as you can. Essentially, that's the key thing. It's about making that decision. As quickly as you can. It's about thinking about what's the right spell to cast next, and then casting that spell, rather than kind of dithering about, as I often find myself doing. Where are you, Petsy? There we go. Yeah, that's what it's mostly about, particularly on the enchanter. I think like making that right decision more so than anything else is the good thing to do. So I've got like a question that I saw on my pet's fairly low level, I think, so I might have to slow the skeleton. Question on the forums that I thought was quite interesting, and I thought maybe you guys have got some opinions on. But first of all, like from a guys of the Deceiver point of view, I logged in this morning, 9 people playing, nine people on the list, which would make me 10th. You know, no chance. I'm not going near it. Essentially, you know, I know some people would camp and just keeping an eye out for and keep an eye out for the AFKs and stuff. I just can't be asked to do that, to be honest with you. You know, and if that ultimately means that I don't get one, then, you know, I don't get one. I'm just I'd rather concentrate on a game and enjoy playing that, and that's what I'm going to do. You know, my current main plan is to keep logging in to see what the camp's like, but yeah, to level up my enchanter, to start doing some of those dungeon crawls that I really like. What I might do is, once I get, I'm not sure how long, I think these skeletons probably take me to level 30 or so, and then normally after this I would think about going to a different dungeon, different place that I normally go to. But what I might do this time, I've never been to Soul A much at all, so I might poke my head in there and do a video of a little look around, little crawl, see what's what. But anyway, yeah, there was a question on the forums recently, and it was about was live actually all it's cracked up to be, and it's basically, it was like live classic v Kunark. You know, was classic all it was cracked up to be, and is Kunark much better? And it's I keep forgetting to press meditate. It's a tricky question. A complicated question. I think that I'm going to root the skeleton again first. Skeleton. It's tricky to answer because, you know, we're coming into it with lots of hindsight. You know, back in the day, you know, Everquest Classic was the best thing since sliced bread. You know, and I think Kunark came in out, and it was a bit of a shock for people. I remember a lot of people kind of not liking the zones. Oh god, I've used 3 pets here. I'm not doing that. Meditate. I remember a lot of people not liking a lot of the zones. You know, they were too vertical, and the visibility when you were like traversing through them was not very good. Lots of trees, but I seem to remember people complaining about trees and stuff for whatever reason. You know, those kind of things that we complain about. So, but I think what people really liked was obviously the power level of the equipment and the raids and stuff. You know, so that was, I think that was kind of where it shined. But I also kind of think from day-to-day point of view, like some of the dungeons were really, really good, brilliant, interesting, great things to kind of crawl through. I think one of the things I found was that one of the key things I found with dungeons was that they were a bit more structured with regards to level. You know, I mean there are many of the dungeons in Classic where you can. Let's come and sit over here. Yes, many of the dungeons in Classic, from a level point of view, they're quite quite anarchic. Najina springs to mind, you know, and places like Kazakh Fall was a perfect example. You know, you'd go in the entrance, and the first camp would contain like a green, a red, and a yellow mob. It's like, what? You know, it's like for your level. Our next camp would have a blue, a green, and a red. You know, it's just, well, fine. Well, I can't deal with that. You know, it's like, where's the structure to the levels? You know, and I think that the Kunark dungeons kind of brought a bit more structure. You know, a bit more of the mobs at the front of the dungeon are generally a bit lower, and as you move in, it kind of gets a bit tougher. I think that was, and I think that was a perfect thing to do. I personally didn't like the zone so much on Kunark. There are some amazing zones, don't get me wrong. There are some great zones to explore and run through, but I was kind of one of those that would go into a zone and it's like, geez, it's dark, there's trees everywhere, there's loads of hills, you know, who made this zone? I was very much like that. Not so much now, but it was something that I did feel like it at the time. And some my favourite zones are kind of in classic, so kind of a bit biased in that sense. I do feel like any MMO release. I think looking back on it and playing it now, I do think that classic was probably lacking in enough content to support as many people as I think it was trying to support. I think I'm not sure what the exact number. I think Brad McQuaid kind of once said that they were kind of aiming the servers at, was it 12 to 15, 1200 to 1500 or something? I'm not sure, and I don't think that was probably. I don't think that's an enjoyable experience. I imagine, I'm not sure there's 500 on at the moment because obviously there's more people at home. But yeah, I'm not sure how you guys are finding that peak time. But from what I've heard, there are many of you that are not finding it much fun. That's fair enough. Yeah, so I think I'm not sure that there was enough content. But only in hindsight, obviously when they created it, they probably didn't think it was going to be as popular as it was, maybe. But yeah, I think that Green Server's kind of shown that maybe there wasn't enough content to support, 1,000 plus maybe. Although people, I think that what you generally have to take into consideration is that you might find, at peak times you might find 1,000 plus people on the server, and you might think it's okay. But there'd probably be a number of people somewhere who are running around just trying to find something to kill, and not finding it, and I know that because that's what you tell me. So, and I've experienced it slightly as well, even playing off peak. When you get up to certain levels, I think it becomes harder to find camps. Like approaching level 40ish, I would probably normally go to Ogok on an enchanter and kill guards, but every time I've been there on my shaman, even off peak, there's kind of 3 or 4 people in there, contesting or waiting or whatever it is for the camp. Yeah, so I think that's the thing. But I think personally, I think generally overall Kunark is the better continent of the two. I just think that there's a lot more variety, I think, in mobs. I love the mob artwork in Kunark. I think it's awesome. I love the classic stuff as well, but I think Kunark is particularly good. And arguably, I'm not sure anyone any measured it, but arguably there's kind of more content in Kunark than there is in classic. So you kind of almost more than doubling the content when Kunark comes along, and I think. Yeah, and I think Velius coming after was almost like a perfect end to the trilogy, if you like. Because I think Velius is generally not for me. I would say it's kind of not my. Apart from the fact that I love the zones, I love the visual design, the art design, and all that kind of stuff. Like from a gameplay mechanics point of view, it's probably not for me unless I've got a level 60 enchanter where I've kind of got, or a shaman with torpor, where I've got more chance of doing stuff on my own. It's very much, I think, like a group or a guild based content expansion. And I'm not saying you can't do stuff on your own, you obviously can, and there will certainly be some enchanters and necros and shamans out there who are amazing at their class and manage to achieve quite a lot on their own. And that's kind of like what my goal is on the green server, hopefully, just to kind of achieve as much as I can. I keep talking about playing solo, not necessarily. As I've said before, if I come across a guild where there are a lot of active people on at the time I play, I jump at the chance of joining. And I know a few people have asked me about my guild. I still kind of plan on doing it, but I think you kind of need myself and a number of players on at the same time to create the guild. So that is obviously, tricky to arrange. But yeah, I think it's an interesting question, like classic or Kunark, and I think the answer is that you don't get Kunark without classic. So it kind of doesn't matter because when Kunark comes, you get the best of both worlds. Yeah, but I would probably say that a few places aside, depending on what levels you are, etc. Yeah, I think that no, I'm not sure actually. Now I think about it, because like I love being in the Gina, for example, where I'm at the moment. Oops, sorry, I just knocked the mic there. I might as well have a little buff while I'm waiting. I think that these skeletons, I think, spawn a bit quicker than the other mobs, or they used to, or they do eventually. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure I timed them at about 18 minutes once. That was major shielding, wasn't it? Okay. I wish there was a macro, meditate macro. I guess that would defeat the objective of just having to click it. What else we got? Sympathetic aura. Augur's got a nice little charisma upgrade for me, but he's stuck in Guck at the moment. And for him to get up, foolishly, I kind of bound myself down there. So he's also going to, because I was just getting paranoid about dying and then having to get myself back again. Because I mean, I think that a shaman can self-sufficiently get through Guck. But we kind of like jumped down there quickly, myself and a friend of the channel, and I bound myself there, so I'm kind of stuck there. It's getting out is quite difficult because I didn't bring any IVU potions with me. What I might do, seeing as the camp seems pretty crazy, is try and fight my way out in some way, or sneak my way out, or whatever a shaman can do, and probably root, run, log in, instill, run around a corner, log out, until I get to the live side. Yeah, I might go out and prepare myself a bit more, make some IVU potions, and come back in again. But that's looking like I can only assume that the other camps are the same or even worse. It's looking like the camp has suddenly become more difficult. I think all of a sudden, I think it kind of started with a spring break, and obviously more people are at home. But that's fine. Good luck to them. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just pixels, and you've got to put people's health before pixels. I would hope that's something that we all agree on. Yeah, definitely. And it just gives you guys who can sit at the camp like more chance to get one where you might not have got one before, and that can only be a good thing. But yeah, getting back to the question, classic or Kunark? Well, I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think there's good things about both of them. But I certainly think that if you're interested in the loot and the power side of things, which is not a problem, which is no problem, we're all into it for different things. Then I think that Kunark is definitely the way to go. I think from an immersion point of view, I would give it to classic. As I said, I wasn't a massive. I really like the dungeons in Kunark, but I wasn't a massive fan of the outdoor zones initially. I've kind of come to more of like a love-hate type thing. Yeah, yeah, but I'm not as much of a fan as I am of some of my favourite zones are definitely in classic. So yeah, it's and I don't think the combat mechanics change particularly. I think a lot of classes got upgrades. As someone who plays a shaman and an enchanter, I think they both definitely got fairly big upgrades. I think I can't remember what is it Theft of Fort, I think, was a particularly important spell for an enchanter, and obviously Torpor for a shaman. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's it, guys. Really, just a little quick video just to keep you going on. If you're on lockdown, I'll try and do this stuff as often as I can. I mean, I keep waking up with plans to stream and stuff, just for people to come and have a chat and whatnot if they're a bit bored. So I'll try and get it off the ground if I can. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. And let's be careful out there.